Gonna go in onto Ghost right now and put him down to half health immediately.
There's the ult.
The ult's gonna barely miss, but here comes the ult by Amoeba, and that's gonna be a lot of damage. Ghost is gonna go down by him too. Ziggs picking up his 5th kill of the game. He is 5-1-3, and with everybody up on the GGNR, this might be a tower easily for them. And oh my god, Tiki God! What are you feeding this horse? He is massive right now, taking out the Lulu, and this is going to be another tower and possibly an inhibitor.
Yeah, this is definitely going to be the inhib for GGNR. This Triforce Hecarim putting on the damage and really putting on a show. Was able to save his ult. He waited to use his ult instead of using it on Ghost. Jolly Amoeba, picks it up with the damage from Ziggs, and then he knew the advantage he could take. Goes straight through, goes straight after that Lulu, and takes her out. What great play by GGNR. So now, now that this game is pretty much broken open by GGNR, JMD needs to start thinking, what can we salvage from these situations? Where do we need to go next? Where we need to group? But GGNR is suffocating JMD right now by once again pushing the upper tower.
Yeah, they're not going to allow him to have anything. If they want to defend something, they're going to have to go all in. And this tower will go down almost instantly with this Jinx and this Ziggs, who Ziggs is going to take it. And we have Game Boy right there trying to get an engage. 2 people are split from the team. Irelia is going to do what he can. The ult's already popped, but she's not going to really be healing much from it. Just do a little bit of damage, a little bit of wave clear, and it's actually going to push off GGNR for now. They still have advanced recalls, and I think this might be the end of the Baron buff, though.
Yeah, but they got so much out of that Baron buff. They have a lot of gold to spend. Let's see what a Frozen Heart picked up by the Hecarim. Some rewards being picked up by the Sejuani. Oh my gosh, that's a 3-item Ziggs right now.
And it's a Void Staff, and he got a pot on top of it, an elixir of
the magic pot.
It's a magic pot. Okay, I gotta check the name of it. It is actually sorcery. I was gonna say brilliance because that just sounds like a sorcery item, but I was wrong. It was actually sorcery. So we'll have to remember that from now on.
PDIE on this Jinx. It's this the gold swing is huge. The dragon advantage is huge.
And this Hecarim is really huge. He's going to go in. He's actually pushes him away from the Jinx zap and might actually save his life right there. But Snowfake is going to go in. He really can't do much. Coming in for Jolly Amoeba is going to pick up the kill on the Sphere in the backline. Snowfake is going to do what he can, but here goes Game Boy to pick up the kill. Tiki God, how is he still alive? He's just healing up. A heal from his AD carry going to keep him alive as well. And that's going to be an ace. How did Tiki God survive during all this? And this is most likely going to be game. They're going to push up the mid lane right now.
Yeah, they have the minion advantage. They have 20 seconds on Sivir and Lulu, but the surrender vote comes in. That is game 1 going over to GGNR.
They might be the Josh Miller Day killers because it feels like whenever JMD loses, it's GGNR. It's always. So GGNR right now putting on an amazing show, a very close game that was broken apart by just one dragon fight. It was basically a 4,000 gold swing that had them basically win the game.
Yeah, no, I mean that is the nature of both of these comps right here. Like it was going to come down to one team fight. You needed the advantage. Like GGNR knew how to win that team fight. They waited for the Hecarim. They had the ults ready. They were able to poke out. They forced JMD to funnel into them, and then that allowed the flanking to happen. And at the same time, what could Josh Miller Day do? The Sivir, you're not going to outrun a home guard Hecarim, even with Sivir ult, even with Lulu Whimsy.
I feel like you have to ban the Hecarim. That's really right now. That Hecarim was amazing on Tiki God.
Yeah, the Hecarim impact on that game in that single team fight was huge. Not to mention the ultimate that came across from the Ziggs, just allowed the damage. It was there. The Ziggs was the damage source there to make sure that the Hecarim. Well, I mean the Hecarim. They worked together there, and then the Ziggs was able to clean up. I should say that would be a better way of putting it.
Yeah, one thing that's really surprising actually, it should never really happen like this, but when your jungle Fizz is the least amount of damage on your team, is something that, like we were talking about earlier, how the Fizz was a make or break champion for them. He could either do great in the beginning or poor in the beginning. Earlier for Legendary Kill, when he went behind, he was still able to come back. I don't think GGNR allowed that Fizz to come back. Did Fizz get any kills that game? He was only able to get 1 kill that game. And
Yeah, so the impact that the Jungle Fizz has is so reliant on his ability to gank. Because he's not going to outscale the Sejuani. Fizz's teamfight presence isn't going to be as impactful as the Sejuani's. So what the Fizz really needs to do is get those ganks. He needs to be able to team up with one or two of his teammates, get a single kill, get maybe a double kill, and utilizing the excess damage coming from the Zerath and the Sivir. Which we kind of saw that happen, but it was really underwhelming. Very much so through the beginning of that game, because I mean both teams played it very well. They got the wars. They were able to play defensive, and that really played well into GGNR hands just because they scaled better. Yeah, they scaled better. They had the Hecarim engaged. They knew where they wanted to team fight, and they were able to funnel. They were able to funnel a team even as mobile as JMD and force them to play on their terms.
Yeah, in Legendary Kills defense in the past games, what he likes to do on that Fizz is he does stay in the shadows, in the fog of war, and waits and then gets the cleanup kills. Granted, GGNR didn't allow him, basically denied him any of that. It was all, we're going to kill your teammates quickly, and we will have to disengage if you try to get some cleanups on us. Or we're just going to keep sieging. If you want to try to go in on us, good luck. We're going to stay as 5. You're not going to find anybody by themselves.
Yeah, they made JMD play by the way they wanted. GGNR manipulated the map, manipulated the objectives, and then used that to her advantage to pretty much group up JMD, force JMD to group up, and then just engage on them, poke them down, engage on them. So they demonstrated the beauty of the comp and the beauty of a Hecarim comp.
Oh my god, that Hecarim, that was an amazing pick by GGNR there, and even though in the beginning you did see the Irelia and Hecarim was out damaging here, but Irelia was out farming. So I was thinking personally that we're going to see that Irelia do better in the late game because it's going to be getting more gold. But then Hecarim just was able to get the right teleports at the right time. During that dragon fight, he actually teleported in the backline, and I thought that he wasn't giving himself enough time to get back to his team. But I forgot that Hecarim could go across the map in like a split second. So he could have been even farther away, and he still would have got there in time. And it was amazing because I believe an ult by Sejuani came down, which gave him the perfect ult to just come in and clean up. I'm going to give him an invite right now.
And during that dragon fight, Irelia did flank. She flanked from the back line. But here's the thing. If Jinx wasn't going to be the one putting out the damage, it was going to be the Ziggs. And I believe what probably happened during that fight is the Irelia went on to the Jinx. And with the support of Nami, because really we saw a Nami wave, I think, come across, but Nami and Jinx turned on to the Irelia to force that, and then the Hecarim, it was Hecarim and Hecarim, Ziggs, and Sejuani going into that front line that was coming in, and they were all grouped up. So the ult and the lockdown that the Sejuani and Hecarim were able to bring to that fight allowed the Ziggs to get off his full combo, get his full amount of damage off, get the Luden's Echo with the ultimate, which is ridiculous, and really just melt JMD. And then Nami and Jinx, that should be an easy time for them dealing with the Irelia, especially if Nami hits a bubble, even if you miss a bubble. Well, if you miss a bubble, that can actually be pretty dangerous for Jinx, but...
Yeah, it's true. One thing that I actually say about that, too, that I was thinking is, I was just actually thinking back on, especially that because of that Ziggs damage, is Baja Atala, I don't think got a kill on any of his ults, but I think only one of them was really a bad ult. Because all of his ults either hit someone and forced them out of lane because it put them extremely low, or forced ultimates out from the Lulu, or he missed because the Ziggs came in and just dealt a lot of damage. And like, you would expect, it's like, oh, this guy's about half health, I could at least do some damage to them, and then they're dead. How did that happen? This is Jolly Amoeba comes by on his Ziggs, Luden's Echo, and Void Staff just dealing a ton amount of damage.
Yeah, the mid-game spike that Ziggs had against a team that wasn't building as much magic resist would have in the later game, it was just devastating. The fact that he gets that Void Staff later on, just for the extra magic pen, it's pretty much probably doing your true damage, I'd assume. Maybe at that time, I don't know what exactly Josh Miller Day had in terms of magic resistance, but certainly the Ziggs was very impactful.
Yeah, this actually might tell like the tale of JMD, how they're very great in laning phase, But then they're so good in laning phase, we really don't get to see their team fight that often because it's just a stomp from then on. But one thing we got to see that was pretty cool was it was an even laning phase, basically. It was, I don't think it could have been any more even.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one thing that was pretty cool. And then once it finally got into team fights, GGNR just beat them. I don't think it could have been any better.
Yeah.
It's basically, I don't know if it's safe to say that GGNR is the better team fight team, or maybe it was just one game. We really can't say that after just one game. So we will wait to see what happens. What does all of you have to say? Only Olive. Sorry, man. What team does he play for again? I'm so bad at remembering who's on what team.
He's on Freshman 15.
He's on Freshman 15. Okay, I think that's because I invited someone from Freshman 15 last time. Which actually, they did pick up 3rd place today, which is great. Man, a lot of championship ribbon skins are going on in chat right now.
Yeah, where's our...
I don't know. Our mods aren't doing their job right now. I know there are a few mods in that room across the hall from us. So they should be able to be working right now. They're not doing anything too important. And I think they know who I'm talking about.
All right, so
we have alumni sitting in the back in the corner. I know exactly where he's sitting too.
So what does JMD do? JM do.
Oh man! If they ever get sponsored by Mountain Dew, that would be an amazing name change. JMD.
JMD.
I would want to watch them.
Josh Mountain Dew.
Let's see it happen. All right, we got to get in contact. Who owns Mountain Dew? Is it Pepsi?
I think so.
They don't. It's Coke that sponsors league, though. Sadly.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, go get sponsored. By Taco Bell, and then get their own Mountain Dew flavor.
Yeah. Oh, is it
Baja Blast?
Baja Blast. That's what I was about to say. Yeah. So we'll see if Josh Mountain Dew or JMD, Josh Miller Day, here can actually win against GGNR, who played amazing in the last game. I'm trying to think of something clever for GGNR. So.
What does Josh Miller Day do here? Like they've got to step. I mean, this is a best of 5, so this isn't a game clinch, or this isn't series clinching. They still have time to rebound.
Oh yeah.
What do they do to? What do they do going into game 2? What do you think?
Hold the C9, lose the next game devastatingly, get the enemy team to really think confidently, and then reverse sweep them. Put them on tilt after the 3rd game. I don't know.
We do not promote psychological warfare.
No, we should probably do that. I don't know of any curses really in Penn State. Maybe actually the GGNR and Josh Miller Day. Like, it seems like this is the one team that Josh Miller Day can't beat. In the Penn State LCS, it's been proven in history that GGNR has their number, and they had to try to figure out something to get through it.
Yeah, no matter how even all their games usually go, it's just something tilts in the favor of GGNR, as we saw in that last game.
There he is. I wonder how he knew I was talking about him.
The World Cell Championship for mod.
I'm tempted, but no, apparently they're totally legit. Those links. Yeah, they're totally legit. Trust me.
Legit?
Yeah.
We do not.
We do not know. Don't click those links.
Don't click those
Don't
links.
Click
They're
them.
probably a phase of this game. Don't do it.
Oh man. One thing you want to learn on Twitch: don't click links. Never click links.
But JMD needs to go into the next game with the mindset that this is still a series.
Yes.
This is now just a harder series that a harder challenge that they must overcome coming back from behind. So it looks like we have the ready coming from Jolly Amoeba on the side of...
One thing JMD does like to, they do have, like, I actually went in their room earlier, they have the board that every other time as someone plays, it's just completely clean. They have the enemy team, their best champs, and like they're crossing people out, knowing what to ban and whatnot. So they are probably going ahead and doing a lot of strategizing and just refocusing too. It's sometimes you need that little break in between just to calm down, be like, hey, that happened. It's still a series. There's at least 3 games to play, so they had to beat us twice. And what happened like that last time, if you just swing something in the early game, one good gank, one good play, one good dragon fight, as we see, could just completely change the game around. And that's what they're going to have to focus on, is continually to do well in the early game, if possible, get a pick, and try to snowball it.
Do use what advantages that you pick in the like to your obviously to your advantage.
Well, yeah, like we said last time, how there was great synergy on the side of GGNR, while JMD had some pretty good synergy, but I think like GGNR basically had every scenario down with that team comp. Like it was a team fight team, it was a siege team, it was a poke team, it was a disengage team.
They were versatile, and
it was amazing. Like
they were versatile in the way that their comp worked, and they were versatile in the way their comp worked, and really took advantage to the ground running with the abilities.
Man, that Hecarim was running. That Hecarim was so quick.
It was so fast, and so JMD taking that break, taking deep breaths, taking one game at a time. Yeah. While this is a series on the grander scale, each game is still a single game of League of Legends. Yeah. Something you play, on for fun on average of 40 minutes. Bring everything not too deep on a micro scale where you're nitpicking maybe what exactly you could have been doing instead of actually playing the game. But simplify the game, settle it down to just individual games, and work from there. Because if you can win one game, and if you can win one game, you can go on to win a second game.
Mm-hmm. And it'll be interesting to see how JMD decides to do that. Do they just go like, hey, let's just forget about that and go with what we were planning from the get-go, just keep going with what we're strong with? Or are they going to be like, let's try a different team comp. They like to team fight. Maybe let's do that as well. Let's just try to out-team fight them. Mm-hmm. Or are they going to be like, let's try to go early again. Let's outlane them. It'll be interesting to see what they decide to do. And also pick bans is going to be a huge part of this, especially bans. I'm not sure how bans are going to change. I still think that GGNR is going to ban out Fiora. As I'm trying to think of who else. I mean, maybe really, Azir? I think no, they didn't ban that last time. JMD did, I believe.
Well, here's what's really interesting is that GGNR, as we have the ready from Josh Miller Day, as we get into Champ Select, as I was saying, we have first pick coming in favor of GGNR. So they can ban stuff out. They can decide to maybe first pick the Hecarim again, which I think really forces a ban change if they don't want to face that Hecarim, Josh Miller Day. Sejuani being banned out.
Yeah, no surprise there. Sejuani is such a strong jungler. If I had to guess right now, Game Boy is going to be playing Zac, if I had to guess. He's been playing Zac throughout this tournament. Zac is really strong right now. So if I had to bet right now, if just picks ban started right now and I had to say who is Game Boy going to choose, I would say Zac. Not sure if it's warranted a ban, though. But we'll have to see.
Zac? Well, yeah, we'll just have to really see. The Sejuani ban, obviously, the Josh Miller Day because of that. They might also do a Hecarim ban. Mm-hmm. That was the flash, you could really say, to the impact that last game. So Fiora and Malka, I think those were the two that
they banned them last time as well. Yeah, those were repeat bans.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect anything different unless GGNR wanted to pick up one of the champions they banned.
There's the Ziggs. Yep. This is actually not a horrible idea. Just banning like, hey, we know you're good at these champs now. We don't want to do that again.
Yeah, they do not. Yeah, Josh Miller Day making sure that GGNR can't get the same team comp that they just won on.
Yeah,
and that is a good idea, but it does open up
to what they're like. What was banned last time?
Which I don't remember.
I know Azir. Azir was banned.
Azir was banned.
All right, guys, if anybody's been paying attention in chat, we will love you forever if you tell us what was the bans last game. The Xerath being banned out, I think that's mostly just because Ghost is very comfortable on it. They want it if they don't have the Ziggs, because Ziggs is definitely, I feel like, really good against the Xerath, because now Ziggs can also still, I wouldn't say outranges, but at least gets close to that Xerath.
The ability to trade damage and interrupt the ult is pretty impactful from the Ziggs. Not to mention the Xerath puts out probably just as much damage as the Ziggs, just in different ways. So it is good. Kalista, that was one of the bans that they had.
That is definitely a ban against Pawatala. So Pawatala's most likely going to go with that Jinx against. Now, this is going to be interesting. Do they first pick
what do they first pick?
Because I believe, wasn't it Irelia first picked last time, and the Hecarim was placed into it, so...
Yeah. It was Irelia, and then it was Hecarim and Sejuani.
I think a hover.
So we're gonna ignore the hovers, but
yes, we should probably just like zone out until we see like it go from like that very light gray. But yeah, that is not a bar. We did see a bar today though. Today with the BBQ version 2 versus freshman 15 game, and we were actually thinking because we had a Nivea and a Trundle on our team, is what if we could like, how can we wall it off that we could just make a Bartle as long as possible? It'd be crazy to think how long you get it if you have a Nivea wall in the right place.
In the right place, yeah.
That was actually a ban last time, but I believe that GGNR rebanned it last time because they didn't want Snowfake to happen, because we did see Snowfake on that Scion, and you can see how comfortable he was zigging in and out of that jungle, which was
Scion is going to be locked
crazy. And we're going to see that Scion on Game Boy, or not, well, it's not going to be on Game Boy most likely. We did see a Scion jungle this tournament. Actually, it might have been a Scion jungle now that I think about it in that game. It might have not been a top lane that I'm thinking of.
I know Russell's Crows, when we played Freshman 15, we had the Scion jungle.
All right. Shout out to Dan Jang in chat. We have the bans right now. Fiora, Maokai, and Scion were banned last time, which are actually banned
Singed, that was
this time. It was Singed that was banned, which I'm not too comfortable with, or not comfortable, but I'm not too familiar with Tiki God. I didn't know he was really that much of a Singed player.
We did see Singed played earlier.
We did.
But let's go back to, obviously, GGNR. As I said, the only reason that you wouldn't ban something you banned last game is if you want to pick it. That's what they do. They first pick the Scion. And we have Graves being locked in on the side of Josh Miller Day, a very strong, his Singed is good. It's confirmed in chat.
All right, thank you guys in chat. We really appreciate it. We do watch the chat during Champ Select, so we do get your interactions here and there. And we're going to see Jarvan as well. It's right now full-on burst and just go in team as first two.
No, a lot of burst damage coming out of the Graves and Jarvan, obviously. And well, Jarvan engage is engage. It isn't the strongest. Usually you want something to either to come first,
and then you just set it up for a setup for that Jarvan ult.
Or you're using Jarvan in the same way that they wanted the Fizz to work, where you're going to be off from the side, surprising your opponent. So we'll see if the change from the Fizz type of play to the Jarvan's going to play is going to happen. But if GGNR gets that same exact type of start, the same exact type of go through until that dragon fight, it's going to probably end up the same. So we'll have to really see how much of an impact this Jarvan can do earlier compared to the Ziggs last game.
Yeah, one thing I really want,
assuming that this is a Jarvan jungle, it could be a Jarvan top lane.
One thing I like seeing with Nidget on that Graves is it's going to be really hard to survive at him, because it's definitely going to outburst, and he's going to keep going. I was actually seeing if he would actually go with a Caitlyn instead to outrange the Graves, but he feels comfortable on that Jinx, which he is. He is an amazing Jinx player. Yeah. And they're going to... Oh, wait, it's not... I was about to say the same bot lane, but that's me looking at hovers again. That is actually going to be Prathman on Morgana. Well, Prathman most likely on Morgana. That could still go in the top or the mid.
Yeah, I think we'll probably see the Morgana support. Obviously, what they traded off last time with the Nami instead of the Morgana was a better lane presence. Now they have a better teamfight presence, able to protect the Jinx better. Because there's not as much definite lockdown from the Scion, although Scion has a lot more lockdown. Well, maybe not a lot more lockdown than the Sejuani, but it's more he can't kite. He can't throw an ultimate and then kite back to help the Jinx instead. Yeah. So a little bit more defensive during the team fight is probably better. Interesting on the Leona hover for support with.
It's just gonna be a full-on death lane in the bot lane if they go
they're
going all out on this.
Yeah,
but
so
with the Morgana, I don't know if I like that.
It is a kill lane in the bot with the Jinx and Leona. I mean, here's the thing about Morgana though: you can only spell shield with one person.
That is true.
So when it comes straight down to it, you just engage on whoever isn't spell shielded.
True.
And usually the Morgana will be selfless and put it on the Jinx. So. It's going to be one of those things where it's going to be how well can Prathman put the spell shield on the correct target, and how well can Nidget and Mia switch targets right away. Can they mitigate? Can they pose a threat and then use their damage on the right target? And I think that's going to be it. And here's a Zac being hovered over on the side of GGNR.
I wouldn't be really surprised by that. We did see Game Boy on that Zac before, and he was really good on that. And Jolly Amiibo on this Azir. I have yet to see it, but from it had a ban earlier, so it has to be good.
Not to mention, look at Josh Miller Day right now. high, heavy engage, and what does Azir do?
Yeah, full disengage, basically.
Yeah, so this is really interesting. I actually really like GGNR's team comp and the fact that they're able to put the disengage and then re-engage with Zac. The re-engage with Zac and Sion is so huge and critical. And not to mention they can start fights with those two. They can start fights with Azir as well. And really, Azir can also, once again, one of those he can play defensively for the Jinx, or he can play, or he can be diving the enemy carry. So once again, we have a really brawly team from Josh Miller Day.
All in. They basically, like, Malphite hits a button, I'm going in. Orianna hits a button, they're all going to be displaced. Graves hits a button, he's big AoE damage, and Jarvan hits a button, and now they're locked down in a battle arena, basically.
Yeah,
and Leona hits a button, they're locked down again from range this time.
It's a huge wombo combo from Josh Miller Day. The Jarvan ultimate with the Orianna ultimate with the ultimate and the Malphite ultimate, and then you can literally hit R in a team fight and hope that GGNR is going to be no more on the other end of it.
Yes.
That is the plan for Josh Miller Day here. Or what can be really strategic is taking out one of their damage threats. Orianna ultimate, if placed in the right situation, can just you can get through a black shield pretty easily with an Orianna combo. So it's going to be, once again, it's going to come down to the positioning during team fights for Pawatawa.
Yeah, Pawatawa is one of those that I messed up so many times, but I casted so many of his games because we were in the same region. So I casted a lot of his games as well and facing against him that once you finally learn how to say it, it flows pretty well. So at first I always hated his name. It's like, wow, why do you have such a hard naming sound or such hard sounding name to pronounce? But then once you get used to it, it flows pretty nicely.
Yeah.
But yeah, on the side of Josh Miller Day, if they want to win, they basically need their MVP to be that R button. Like, it's just so wombo combo heavy that they just need to lock him down.
They need to make an impact early. I think that's really what's going to help. Because once Graves gets ahead, because of his damage mitigation when he's in combat, it's huge. Like, he's going to be able to stay alive longer than the Jinx, just by the fear pack that he can burst whoever's in front of him, and the fact that he takes less damage as time goes on. While he doesn't have necessarily a lot of protection, the Orianna being really the only supporting thing that they have with the shield, or utility base.
It's also a very old school team. Like these characters are pretty old. And if you look on the side of GGNR, besides Morgana, who's been here for almost forever, they're fairly new.
Yeah.
If you count Sion's rework as him being new, so.
True.
It's pretty cool to see that you basically have a team of, hey, we're new, and a team of, we just like it old school.
Yeah. But really, it's going to be that Josh Miller Day has to have the early impact. They have to have an early impact from the Jarvan. What can be really critical is a level 6 teleport or a level 6 roam from this Malphite, especially mid. Azir isn't exactly the easiest thing to lock down, unfortunately. Unfortunately, now that I even look at it, none of these champions on GGNR are the easiest to lock down.
No, not at all.
Jinx
might be the easiest.
Jinx and Morgana technically
are
probably the most likely. And that's really where I would want to target anyway. I'd want to target their bot lane. You know, if you're going to use a teleport, if you're going to roam down and maybe lose a tower, you're going to want to trade a double kill, a tower, and then maybe even a dragon. For that time, for the resources you're using elsewhere on the map.
Yeah, I feel like for both teams, that's what they should definitely do is both focus on the bot lane because for GGNR, it's like you really don't want to focus top lane too much. It's like, okay, you get your Sion ahead, he just doesn't die as much, which he doesn't die much as anyway, except for the first minute and a half. I believe the death rate for Sion in the first 2 minutes of the game is probably 75%. For how often you see how many times, at least at high level play, how many times they decide to go after those Raptors. And man, those Raptors must feel good how they always get so many kills early on. The Raptors,
jungle doing its job.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do lose out in the end, but
Oh yeah, they get one kill a game if there's a Sion at least.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing about GGNR. You don't necessarily have to focus on the bot lane, although that's really where their damage is going to come from.
Yeah.
I'm not exactly too sure on where Azir's damage is. I know it's not really bursty, it's more of a damage over time.
Yeah, his Q does a lot of damage though if you're able to hit it with a good amount of soldiers.
Okay, so yeah, so you're probably right. They will need to focus on this game will probably rely on this bot lane and who's going to come out ahead going into the big game.
Especially with both mid laners being very high utility, because with basically they're there for really their ults. Azir great at disengage and Orianna just great at disrupting.
Yeah. So we have GGNR grouping, looking like they're poised to either get some deep wards or move in deep into the Josh Miller Day jungle. Maybe get that early lead for their bot lane right away. But we actually see Jolly and Mubi. You see them completely disengaged. They're just gonna walk back and probably return to more of a defensive position. It is quite interesting because now they're going to be walking in blind. So if Josh Miller Day had grouped up and moved into that red buff, they'd walk straight into.
Yeah, they didn't place any. Oh no, they have the one ward, or did they? No, it was just placed. My bad. It was off camera, so I didn't see it. But yeah, they didn't place any wards. They as you can see, there's only 2 wards down, and they are just placed. So.
But I mean, it's not like Josh Miller Day has all that great of a.
Level 1?
Level 1.
True.
So they have the Leona stun.
They really don't have the best pre-level 5 either.
That is true.
They're there for the 6 and past, basically.
Yep. So we'll see how things swing once we get to that level 6 point across the map. Uh-oh. That Scion is going to try to take these Raptors, but it
He's
looks
still
like
trying
Mia,
it.
Yeah, Mia wants to get a kill here, get first blood, but the Scion's going to be forced to disengage. And actually we see Malphite, he's in the jungle of... he's going to proxy this wave, knowing they knew that Scion was taking Raptors. Is he taking Wolves now?
Wolves now, yeah. And he's
going to take Wolves. This is actually a really good play by Snowflake here.
Oh, but he's going to get caught out by Game Boy right now, and the blue buff is going to do damage, forcing a flash really early. So that top lane now, with basically, he's going to have no summers because he's going to be forced to teleport back in the lane.
Yeah, so what ended up being a really good play ends up being a stalemate? Yeah, it's probably going to end up being a stalemate. I think Legendary Kill is, or not Legendary Kill, I think Snowflake is going to end up getting most of this. Yeah, he didn't miss a single. He didn't miss a single thing.
True, but
the Scion did get Wolves. Yeah. So
neither of them really missed out. I feel like the Scion basically got like a lot more experience than that Malphite did. Malphite only got maybe about a quarter of a level, and yeah, Tiki God's gonna have a full level on him. They both leveled up at the same time, and Tiki God's gonna basically be able to punch this lane because Malphite is not really a good laner. He's gonna have a very, very tough time laning now.
Yeah, not to mention. Basically, what ended up happening was that the Malphite could have just went back to lane, and then he would have still had teleport. Because the lane ended up happening the same exact way if Scion just took the Raptors, because he was trying to do a really cool play where he was going to try to stop the minion wave from crashing he was going to get his minion wave to crash into the turret by proxy farming a little bit, but he's a level 1 Malphite, so he can't
do much.
He can't really do much, and early full minion wave, it hurts. It hurts a lot. So he wasn't really able to do that, and he was not only was he forced to back and then teleport, but he was also forced to flash.
Yeah.
So it was a really good play by GGNR to really good decisions made by both of them.
There's so much damage going down on him too.
On that early level.
And he went with a Cloth 5 too, so he'll have enough pots to keep himself in lane for a bit, but he's going to have not a lot of mana to really farm, because he's going to be heavily reliant on that Q to farm, and that's a lot of damage coming in from that Scion, who still has his ult, so he can go in at any time.
Yeah, this is going to be rough for that Malphite until level 6. We'll see where the junglers go. Currently, they're doing their normal farm up. Jarvan actually already had it back for his jungle. Probably because Zach lost out on.
Maya's gonna go on to Palatala, and he's gonna go lower away. Exhaust coming down on both AD carries, but both of them are also extremely low. it seems like GGNR wants to try to trade this back. Palatala is going to stay in lane, and Nidget on that Graves is blinking red. He is really low, but he at least has a pot to try to keep himself, and so did Palatala, so we might see another re-engage coming up very shortly.
Yeah, we'll see. Jinx was forced to flash and heal, so I don't know how safe they'll feel going in, as damage is going to take both mid laners really low, but unless one of them gets greedy, I don't think kill is going to come out of it. But so we'll see how ready and willing the bot lane for GGNR will engage to this point. But yeah, Graves and Jinx both potted up for the trying to sustain the all-in potential from their opponent.
Both of the mid-laners there, we're getting really low. Surprised to see actually go still in lane on this Orianna. Maybe he's just trying to crash his minion wave into the tower, and the bot lane seems really strong for GGNR right now. And actually we see Zach just waiting here, and yeah, Josh Miller has no clue this is going to happen.
And it's huge.
It's going to go right in. A good dash coming in by Nidget and a flash coming in by Maya. So they are going to survive for now. And we do see Jarvan on the minimap. He is going to come down, but I feel like it's going to be a little too late. And he decides that he thinks the same thing, and he's just going to take Scully.
Yeah, no, it was actually a really good trade. So what ended up happening there was that as we have a pause, we should really have like a webcam to switch to us.
How's this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I figured it out
really well.
Yeah.
Well, we're paused. So what actually happened during that team fight here, or while that gank happens, Legendary Kill went mid to help push the wave with because they saw Azir back. So getting that wave to crash in, deny some of that experience, deny some of that gold from the Azir. That was the choice done by the jungler for Josh Miller Day. On the other side, we had an early gank bot, which we said was going to be the focus of this early game. That is the focus of this early game for most likely both of these teams. But we have Zach doing the first gank bot. He gets in there, forces the flash, but he took a lot of damage too. He ended up in tower range, and he took a couple shots as we are now unpaused. Back. But as I was saying, so they decided to try to gank, try to get this try to force something down the line. Because I mean, JMD was low there. There certainly was a chance, but you know, JMD knows about this all-in potential of the Jinx Morgana. You know, binding.
We're actually seeing Jarvan coming. Great spell shield to not have the knockup happen, and Legendary Kill is going to get stuck by that binding and by the chompers, but in the reverse order, I messed that up. And Palatala is going to put a good amount of damage onto him before he is going to have to basically just walk out of lane, but he's low in mana, so he's probably going to back anyway, so that damage doesn't really mean too much.
Yeah, same story, but just different characters in this time. The jungler comes in for a gank and takes a lot of damage, and is going to be forced to, you know, either... He's not going to be able to do another gank. He's going to have to either go back. He's probably going to go farm and then go back and then try a gank later. So that's going to be more jungle pressure off the field for another minute, for another minute across all lanes.
Yeah, it was a good gank, and that was an amazing spell shield there by Craftman. That was just like literally.
Oh yeah.
I barely even saw the spell shield go down before that knockup was coming in by Jarvan. So great job there with the quick reactions to basically save his AD carry's life and stop the first blood from happening. JMD right now is a little bit ahead, but a great job by Gameboy to force the flash out of Ghostman. He's going to be able to get the jump right on top of him.
Yeah, so both junglers using their advantage of a long jump with some CC on the end of it to try to gain advantages for the lanes, but nothing has come out for them. So we'll have to see who has the first successful gank of this game as we head as we head into the 8th minute with a slight goal lead over the JMD.
Yeah, both junglers, they've had great ganks and they've got summoner spells out of it, but so far just nothing to produce a kill, and it's still first blood. JMD does have a little bit of a gold lead. They have farm on top and mid on them. Yeah, that Orianna out farming the Azir quite heavy right now, about 20.
Yeah, just the way the Orianna can zone out the Azir from exactly farming without using his spells is pretty critical. And then of course Orianna being able to clear waves. So I mean, this goes back to that first win the first decision by Legendary Kill to force that wave in with Ghost. It was that wave is pretty critical, as you can see here. Giving the slight advantage to JMD here early.
Yeah, definitely. I really didn't think it would work out too well, but it did. So
yeah,
really can't say too much about it then. If it works, it works.
Yeah, it's the small things in League of Legends that help cascade your leads, and then once you have that lead, if you're able to continue to, oh my god, if you're able to continue pushing that lead even further, as we have JMD on the Dragon.
So yeah, this might be an early Dragon Ball. We have Gameboy coming in. He's actually really low though, and his passive is going to pop, but first blood's going to come in for Paha and Tala, and Snowflake's going to ult right on top of him, and he's going to go down as well. But Gameboy is going to be able to survive. Legendary Kill, what an ult by Orianna, hitting 3! The Jolly Amoeba on Azir, not going to come in time, and triple kill for Orianna. Tiki God's not going to be able to trade on, and he's going to go for blood. He's going to go for that early Penta, but he's not going to be able to get it. A good binding comes in from Prathman. What an amazing ult by Orianna in order to finish up that team fight.
Yeah, that was a great play, great nerfs on the side of Josh Miller Day there, being able to secure that dragon. They both used Smite, I think, at the exact same time, because both of them were about to come up, so it was literally a Smite war, that 50-50 on that dragon. So great job by Legendary Kill to not only pick that up, get the Jarvan ult, allow the Orianna to wombo combo that, and really turn the fight in favor of Josh Miller Day after an early pickup by GGNR on the first blood by the Jinx.
And yeah, on the offside of Dragon, when they went to go, like after Dragon was taking, Malphite ulted immediately on Apollo Atala, and he was basically able to do anything. Once a Malphite's on top of you, like directly on top of you, you're not going anywhere. You're gonna be knocked up. You had that slight little stun once you land, and he's gonna just massively do damage to you. And I don't think anybody was really around to help him out, and he just got surrounded by JMD. So the AD carry was out of the fight almost immediately. Was able to pick up a kill like when that Dragon shuffle happened, but once Dragon was down, JMD just focused on that team fight, and they turned it around, and now they're gonna have a 1,000 gold lead at 11 minutes in, but it's still anybody's game. So it's still early, and Tiki God's not gonna allow Snowflake to back.
Yeah, with no towers taken, we'll have to see what comes out of the rest of this. Because what ended up happening in favor of JMD here is that they were grouped. They had all 4 of them as their second gauge down here.
Yeah, we have an ult coming down on Prathman, and they're just going right onto it. But Palatala, exhausted and taking a lot of damage.
Flash.
Great flash there in order to pick up the kill, but it is going to go on the Leona. And let's see if Ninja gets it this time. And yes, the Graves is going to pick up the kill this time. So that is 2 kills coming down into the bot lane. We are actually going to see in the mid lane, Jarvan's going to come in, and it all comes in from Orianna. Good disengage ult. Did he just walk through Jarvan's ult? I think he did, but he's going to kill the ult, or the auto attack from Orianna is going to get it. And Zach is now in trouble. He's actually going to flash it, and ult's going to come in. He might pick up the kill on Legendary Kill, but a great job getting out of there by Jarvan. And I really think that Azir walked through Jarvan's ult.
Yeah, so that was some great play.
We have to pause.
Are we going to... So that was some really great play by... you want to put us on...
Oh, yeah, sure.
Because I'm sure, like, I'm currently in the same position that I was for that play. Okay, so let's back this up. Let's go back to the bottom lane here, right?
Yes.
So this was our key to the game, was the spot lane, who was going to win and who was going to press their advantage. So with the early kills and the early gold that JMD has, they pushed on, they got the advantage, and then it seemed like it was advantageous for GGNR's bot lane to go in and continue to do damage, to continue to brawl against these two. But with the ultimate of the Leona's Sunflare being able to stun, I don't know if he got an exact stun.
I think he did. I believe he did.
But
right on top, or
on top of Jinx.
On top of Jinx, it was a direct hit. Yeah.
Because Morgana used the spell shield on herself, so this opens up JMD's ability to turn targets and target the more important one out of the two, the Jinx. And so with the ultimate, with the extra damage and the jump onto by the Leona, getting the stun off, Jinx had no way of getting any more damage out. And then flash in, buckshot, auto attack. That's going to be the kill for on Jinx. Leona ended up picking that up, but Morgana quickly followed. And then we have the gank by Legendary Kill and Orianna. So I don't know what exactly happened with Orianna's ult, but it was a great play by the Azir, because I don't think the Azir got caught by the ult right away. I was expecting the Azir to pop instantly, and he didn't.
He didn't.
I didn't see the Orianna ult right away after, like, because Jarvan ulted and then Azir ulted, and I think that that knockback is still, like, you can't activate your abilities while you're being knocked back. Like
yeah,
that.
true.
So I don't think Orianna got her ult off right away, and that really forced. So that's why the Azir kind of just barely escaped, walking out of the Cataclysm. And then the auto attack, which has already been nerfed on Orianna, just enough to pick up the kill onto Azir. And that's so huge. Like so now they're using the gold lead that they had, cascading it, that early slight CS difference, allowing them to get the Morellonomicon over the Chalice, like a non-completed Morellonomicon on Azir. So great timing with the ult, or great timing with the gank, with the back purchase, and a good overall and a very good mechanical play by Josh Miller Day to get the kill. And then I think the ult came in when Zach was hopping around. I think that's how he probably took a lot of his damage.
Possibly.
But I do not remember exactly what.
We go back during pauses?
We can go back.
Okay, let's see if we can see that fight again. We see Azir come in.
Look at this. So yeah,
he was knocked out. Okay.
He was knocked out. So did Orianna? Right. That was Orianna's ult. So he was knocked out by Orianna's ult. Okay. Yep. So that makes a lot of sense. And really,
Flash and trying to get the kill.
Yeah, he's trying to get the tower to help him out here, but Jarvan just flag drags away, and no harm, no life. It looks like
no,
we're still in pause.
Not there, whatever. Close enough.
Yeah,
I doubt that 4 seconds really means much. But
yeah, if anything, when we go back live, we'll just
like 4 seconds. And for 4 seconds later.
I mean, when I think each pause adds like a second onto the weird thing. It's a weird bug.
Yeah, it happens, but yeah, he was actually knocked out of his ult because just looking at it, it looked like he just walked. But yeah, one thing.
So it was the ult.
Yeah, one thing we really didn't talk about, but we kind of hinted towards, but really didn't say, is that with Jarvan, Leona, and Malphite, it is an amazing ball delivery service.
Oh yeah.
So and I think that's what probably happened right there. So like. Basically, she puts it on someone. If there's a shield on anybody, GGNR should just get out. Like they had to realize it's like if they're getting chased down and a shield goes on a Malphite, just get out. There's nothing good that could come out of that.
And it's gonna take some. I mean, this is why this is just great games to watch, because of the high level play, because these are 5 people who have been playing with each other and they have full communications. Yeah. If you don't know about our setups, we actually have a laptop set up in a giant row, a row of desks. So each of them, some people favor maybe to put headsets on and talk via some voice over some voice chat thing function through the computer. But I know my team, we were just shouting at each other because we're right next to each other. You can hear everybody. It's quiet in each of the rooms, although you can hear the slight cheering from the other room if there is something does happen. But yeah, it's a
really cool experience too, because like. I play, like, at least with my team, we've always played separate from each other. Like, maybe 1 or 2 people will come over and we'll somehow have a little bit of in-house practices. Because sometimes my support comes over, sometimes my mid laner comes over, and we practice a bit like that. But, like, having the full team just together in the same room playing when you're just used to, like, a voice coming into your ears is completely different and amazing. And especially when you, like, even though it's a 3-minute delay, hearing that crowd cheer and you think, oh yeah, that's when I flash ulted. It's like it's a good feeling.
Yeah, no, definitely. Not to mention when your mid laner or when your top laner screws up a teleport, you can everybody just stops and just looks down. You just look down the row and you're like, what are you doing?
What are you doing?
That's right. Webcam can't see my. So I don't even know what this pause really.
Oh wait, is. I was waiting for something to say, but I kind of forgot we don't see chat. So let's see what they say.
Ping spikes.
Okay, I could say that as playing, we did have ping spikes as playing as well. So it does happen.
Not to mention with a game with a 200 difference in prize
Oh,
pool
yeah.
money on the line,
Definitely.
I would pause the game and wait for these lag spikes to succeed.
I would want it to be perfect. So they had to actually have it reconnect. I didn't even see him disconnect.
I'm not sure. I'm gonna yeah, spectators should see him disconnect.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking. I mean, we were.
True.
We were pretty in. Plus, we were rewound, so he might have disconnected while
maybe.
we were.
Yeah, that could have happened.
So currently,
here we go.
There we go. Pause undone.
Yeah.
We're about to get back into game 2 of GGNR and JMD, with GGNR taking the lead. Oh,
yeah. Thanks for the camera. Why did you take us away from that?
Apparently, Oriana picked up the kill on the mid lane on the Zach. Was his passive up?
No, I believe he lost it during the dragon fight earlier, so it was still down from that.
It was still down.
You can actually check right now to see. Actually, no, you can't check. I thought it had like the cooldown timer on it,
No,
which it doesn't.
It might have just come up.
Maybe.
But either way, another kill going over to that Oriana. Oriana is 5. Oh, this looks to be the answer that JMD wants, because